Thank you. Thank you very much. It's very much my honor to be here. So let's start first with a little joke about computers and mobile. We've had this confession time today about people and their age. I was born in 1960, so I'm 52 years old. I was alive. I remember experiencing on TV, seeing man walking on the moon. I'm that old. In the 1960s, when I grew up, the exciting technology was rocket science. And the mysterious technology was computers. Very mysterious. Nobody had computers on their desktops. They were machines that were very quietly in air-conditioned rooms, and you had to be a professor to go and touch them. And I wanted to go and study computers in university after I learned that Finns are probably not going to be astronauts walking on the moon. So, what happened with those computers? NASA, when it was building its Saturn V rocket to go to the moon, used some of the most powerful computers that existed in the 1960s. And NASA had a lot of them to design those rockets that they used. Now if you go to your pocket today and you take out your iPhone, you take out your Samsung Galaxy, your BlackBerry Bold, whatever is your smartphone that you use today, in your pocket today you have more computing power than all the computers that NASA used in the 1960s. And that's in our pocket today. So NASA used computers to launch man onto the moon. We use our smartphones to launch Angry Birds at some virtual pigs. Yes, Angry Birds, Rovio comes from Finland. They've just passed 1 billion downloads of Angry Birds. I come from Finland. I can do the Finnish accent if you want, but I'll try to do it with an American accent, a little bit easier to understand. So, I've written 12 books about mobile. I'm the most published author in mobile. I'm referenced in 120 books about mobile. TEDx invited me to come here talk to TEDxMongKok. And what did they want me to talk about? They wanted me to talk about not mobile. That makes perfect sense, right? You get the guy who's written most books, don't talk about what you write, right? So I'm going to talk about mass media number 8. Mobile was mass media number 7. Now we're going to talk about mass media number 8, the 8th mass media. So, what were the first 7 mass media? I was the first one to provide this methodology to look at the mass media. Print is the oldest, 500 years old. Newspapers, magazines, books, etc. Then came recordings. Then came cinema, radio, television, the internet, and mobile. These are the 7 mass media. I was the first person to write in a book that mobile is different from the internet. We should not try to copy the internet. Mobile is different today. Today, if you talk to media experts, advertising experts, they all say, yes, you should mobile optimize. But 10 years ago, this was a radical thought. People thought there would be one internet where they would come together, mobile and the internet. Today, we know they are separate media. Those were the first 7 mass media. When I wrote this book, mobile as the 7th mass media, I've often had audiences who say, Tomi, what do you think is going to be the 8th mass media? And that's been a difficult question for me for many years. Now I can tell you, the 8th mass medium is already reality, is called augmented reality. And that is what we will talk about today. Now, I didn't invent augmented reality. I didn't even discover the thought that augmented reality should be called the 8th mass medium. That was Raimo van der Klein, the CEO of the Dutch company called Layer, one of the early augmented reality pioneers. So credit to Raimo and his company for promoting this argument. But this honestly is my first presentation ever to TEDx, where I talk about the 8th mass media. The last 10 years I've been talking about the 7th mass media. So let's look at augmented reality. Raimo van der Klein comes from the Netherlands, Layer, the company. So let's go to Amsterdam. Imagine that you are a tourist in Amsterdam. You are looking at the wonderful canals. You take out your camera phone, you take pictures, you and your husband, your wife, lovely romantic trip to Netherlands. Maybe you take some video of the boats on the canals. Now imagine that you are looking at the scene. On your normal phone, you can take a picture of Amsterdam. What if you could have more in that same view? Something that is not reality, something that is beyond reality, that is augmented reality, additional to reality. Let's say that you are looking for an apartment that you would like to buy in Holland. You could be walking here in Hong Kong looking for where's an apartment to buy and so forth. So this is an early video 3 years ago from Layar when they started to introduce augmented reality. What is it? Imagine that you are shopping for an apartment. You're looking here through your camera phone, and you are seeing these dots appearing because you selected the layer that will show apartments for rent. See on the bottom, it is showing you information about that apartment. It shows you a picture of that while you are looking through your camera phone at the reality of Amsterdam. It will give you information of how much that would cost if you want to buy that apartment. That was early augmented reality 3 years ago. Now let's take a look at a couple of other examples. This was the first advertisement using augmented reality. This is Ford, the car company. They are selling you Ford cars. If you look behind this camera phone is a street with no car. But when you use your camera phone, you see the imaginary car there. Augmented reality. You can have your friend take your camera phone, and you can go stand in the picture with that imaginary car when there's no real car. That is augmented reality. We can have monsters coming into our world. We can have celebrities live with us. We can have dinosaurs walking. They have in London, for example, dinosaurs attacked London with augmented reality just a couple of weeks ago. So we can do this kind of thing with magazines. Print media, for example. This is Lynx Axie, the deodorant in England for boys, teenage boys. So get your camera phone and take a look at the girl. This is what she looks like. You can only see it if you have the camera phone that you can see the augmented reality. We can make magazines and newspapers interactive. This is augmented reality. And it's not just this frivolous, silly stuff. Imagine that you are now furnishing your apartment. Why don't you get the Ikea augmented reality app? Look at the picture behind this camera phone. In the room, there is no sofa. Then we select from Ikea's catalog, and we go Björn or Benny or Agneta or pick one of these crazy Swedish names for these, sofa. I want this sofa, and then look what it looks like in your room. And maybe I don't want it in blue, I want to see it in red. How does it fit my curtains? How does it fit my carpet? And so augmented reality. So we can try out furniture without carrying the real furniture into our apartment. These kind of things. This is reality today. This all exists today, we can do today. How about experiencing the past? Gets me even more exciting. This is me really when I lived in New York. This is my cousin Jari. We visited the World Trade Center when it still existed. The World Trade Center doesn't exist anymore, the Twin Towers. So there's an augmented reality app that you can go and take a look what the World Trade Center looked like and walk around it and put yourself in a picture and take a picture of it. Or you can go to Berlin and the Berlin Wall, which doesn't exist anymore. You can go to the East Berlin side and see how much of West Berlin was not visible because of the wall. Then you can walk to the West Berlin side, look at the same wall, you see the graffiti, etc., what West Berlin did. Augmented reality. There are battlefields in America, Gettysburg, etc., which are just fields where the Civil War happened 150 years ago. They're just fields now. They're historical places. You can use your camera phone to see the actual soldiers fighting. And then you can look at General Lee, and you can look at General Grant, and it's like binoculars that look back into history. Augmented reality. This is all real today. This all exists. This is not science fiction. Now, what happens when we combine virtual reality and augmented reality? Here in Hong Kong, we have it already. This is a Japanese invention, the eye butterfly. The eye butterfly are virtual butterflies that float around Hong Kong. If you have your camera phone or your smartphone, you can go hunting for them. They are regional butterflies, different colors. So we have different butterflies here in Tsim Sha Tsui, and different in Mongkok, and different in Wan Chai, and so forth. And you collect them. When you catch one of them, you get a coupon. You get, for example, Pacific Coffee will give you a free cappuccino. Catch one of these butterflies. How many have been sold? 300,000 people already use this service. 10 million ads have already been delivered. This is no longer a niche market. This is starting to be a real mass market today. Go to the most advanced mobile country, Japan. The craze now is balloon fishing. Balloon fishing is virtual reality, augmented reality fishing. Imagine that all of Japan is a giant virtual lake. A giant virtual lake. The only way to fish in that lake is you have to find somewhere some kind of body of liquid. So you have your cup of tea, or you have your bowl of rice, soup, or you have a glass of water, and wherever you find that, so I put the glass there and I can start fishing with my camera phone. And then if that's not good, I can't catch fish here, I find another place. Maybe this is a better place to fish. And my friends come over, we're in a meeting, boring meeting, you know, boss is talking, we pour glass, water, and we start fishing, you know, boss doesn't know, but who catches the biggest fish first? Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But virtual reality and augmented reality starting to come together, and we are getting more and more of these funky, weird, strange things. Magical, whimsical, but very real. So, where are we, when are we, and where will this go? Today in the world, there are approximately 5 million people who are already consuming augmented reality kind of services. This is mobile, this is my normal work. Mobile as a media, not total mobile phones. Total mobile phones are more than 6 billion. Will be more mobile phones than people next year, this time. More than 7 billion next year. But this is mobile media. These are people who consume advertising on mobile, who play Angry Birds, who buy ringtones, who consume news on mobile. The mobile media audience was 2.5 billion people at the end of last year. Mobile was invented as a mass media year 1998. So in 1997, there was zero media on mobile. It started in 1998. When did mobile hit the point of 5 million media users of mobile? That was in 1999. Now let's do a little bit of mathematical magic. Let's change this time frame and let's put the augmented reality time on the bottom. The red numbers, that's augmented reality. Augmented reality started in 2009. Now, in 2011, the world had 5 million users of augmented reality. Because augmented reality can be consumed on mobile phones, there will be other things. We can consume augmented reality on tablets. We can consume augmented reality soon on goggles, many other ways. But because more augmented reality can be consumed on smartphones, it's very likely that augmented reality will follow exactly the same curve as mobile media did. When will we reach 1 billion consumers consuming augmented reality media? Year 2020. At the end of this decade, that is when we will have 1 billion people consuming augmented reality like the examples I showed you, except far more advanced as this technology and this media grows up and learns its possibilities. Every one of you in this room will be consuming. That's twice the number of newspapers today. Newspaper circulation is 450 million on the planet. By the end of this decade, there will be twice as many people consuming augmented reality media than the total circulation of newspapers on the planet today. That's how big it will be, and that's how quickly it will happen. All of you will be involved. All of you will experience it. Many of you will be using it in your work. So now, let me show you a little tour of the future. This is chaos. This is Mongkok. This is Hong Kong. So let me turn on my little augmented reality goggles. The blue part here on the bottom of the screen is my simulation of what augmented reality could look like on your eyeglasses very soon as technology. So we are now in Mongkok. I'm a tourist. I come from Finland. I don't really understand. It's a confusing place. And we have lots of things that will be difficult for us as tourists. One of them is the language. I don't speak Chinese. So what does this sign mean? Very easy. We have the augmented reality. We'll just do the translation, money exchange. I come from Finland. What is this in Finnish? Well, that's easy to do too. It's valuutan vaihto. Easy to do. This technology exists. This is not science fiction. This is something was invented in Japan. We already have this on an iPhone already, etc. But a company called N4 developed something called the camera jiten a while ago. Then let's take a look, go a little bit further. In Mongkok, we're walking around. I told you it's a mass media. I'm walking around here, Tomi Ahonen, just a random tourist in Mongkok, and suddenly I'm a fan of Formula One. Here's a Red Bull Formula One car. Why is it showing me the Formula One car? It's actually asking me, Tommy, would you like to go and see a video? Come on. Would you like to see a video from the latest Grand Prix? I'd love to, but I don't have time right now. Why is it? Because there's a Casio ad here, and Casio sponsors Red Bull. So we are going to get these kind of services and applications and advertising. It's going to be there. I don't want to watch it now. I will store it later. I will watch the video because I have to come to the conference and talk to you. So now let's go back to my glasses and turn off the glasses. Let's turn off. We don't need video to do augmented reality. We don't need pictures. We don't need camera phones. We can do augmented reality also with sound. Sida is a rap artist from Japan. Sida, as far as I know, was the first instance of using augmented reality as a sound adventure. He introduced his new album. So he made a sound adventure for his fans in different parts of Japan. Go to a different place, every place where he identified, he would tell why that place is important for him, why there's a story. He would tell you the story, this is where I crashed my motorcycle, or whatever his story was. And at each one of those places you could hear one of the tracks from his new album. The fans loved this. They had a tour all around Japan, experiencing Japan with their favorite artist. By the time he released the album, it came up at #1. We can do augmented reality without the glasses, without the camera phones. We can do it in other ways. It is a little bit like Superman. So, remember Superman? He has the ability to hear far away, magical hearing. So imagine Tommy is back in Mongkok, and I'm out of money, and I need to find a cash machine. Now I don't have my goggles turned on because this is too chaotic, and I'm just being guided by something like Siri is on the iPhone. My assistant is telling me, Tommy, the cash machine is to your right. Keep walking, it's 10 meters to your right. No, Tommy, don't turn to the left. Where's my video? Turn to the left. No, no, Tommy, not to the left. Go to the right. Go to the right. Here we go. And we turn, and here is the cash machine. Can you see it? Here is the cash machine. Ah, there is the cash machine. I don't need to have video. I can have sound guiding me and helping me. These kind of things, we are having Superman sound. The possibility to do far beyond just the normal, the everyday in augmented reality. If you're interested, where can you find more information? There's a fantastic new video came out just a couple of weeks ago from Google. Just go to YouTube and look for Google Glass, Google Glasses, or Google Goggles. Very wonderful video showing some of these concepts of what will be coming soon. The biggest company that I mentioned is called Layer, out of the Netherlands. They've got thousands of layers. They've got thousands of case studies. They've got, all around the world different. They're now doing things like digitizing magazines and making them interactive and so forth. So let's take one more look into that future. Remember Superman and Superman's hearing? Superman also had eyes. Superpower eyes that he could see through walls, right? Imagine that power. Imagine the power that we can see through walls. We can see through obstacles. I am back in Mongkok. I am hungry. I want to eat something. I want to go to Pizza Hut. I know it's somewhere nearby, but I cannot see it. I'm looking for it, and I cannot see it, and my superpower eyes will show me, here it is, Tommy. Here is your Pizza Hut. Even though these buses are going in front of it, and there it is. Pizza Hut is right there. So, Tommy, here is where you need to go. Thank you. So, I mean, these are just very early concepts of what kind of things we can do with augmented reality today. This is not science fiction. It will get much more advanced as this decade goes on. I started with a little joke about computers migrating to your pocket, becoming our mobiles today. Augmented reality will be the next mass media. So, 4 simple thoughts for you. Augmented reality is the 8th mass medium. Even though there are only 5 million people using it today, by the end of this decade, 1 billion people will be using augmented reality. It is not only smartphones looking at some pictures. We will have videos, we will have sounds, we will have it on tablets, we will have it on goggles, we will have it even in all kind of other new technologies we couldn't imagine. And fourthly, if you do get involved building services and solutions around augmented reality, please make them magical. Thank you.